I was actually thinking about that during the show. I'm like, yeah, they just definitely
let me
themselves.
extend an olive branch. We're at a 90 right now. We're ahead of the pack for sure, but they're at 100 right now. They took it up a notch.
Oh yeah, right now.
That was wild.
But I remember this
what about that?
like
That's
6.
Yeah, go ahead.
I remember 8 years ago. I remember about 8 years ago, y'all threw y'all threw some homeless veteran out off their wheelchair.
That's diabolical. That's diabolical.
Dude had no legs, bro. I was like, what? He's crazy, homeless, man. No legs, and he's a veteran. Yo, y'all are crazy. Yo, what's the deal? It's your boy Jamal here with episode 11 of Jack of All Trades podcast. Of course, with me, the dynamic duo, my guys, the brethren, the bros. Got my boy Tom coming from out of LA. Tom, what's happening?
What's going on? What's going on? You know, always sunny, always beautiful. Los Angeles, California, in the building.
Yeah.
So earlier this morning, right? You know, I'm driving to go get Valencia's car wash, driving to go get her car washed. And right up the street is Baldwin Hills, View Park, Windsor Hills, you know, and also Ladera, right up the street. For reference, that's basically what the show that Nemesis just came out. Like when they were referencing those towns and those areas, that's called Black Beverly Hills, right? Is what they call it. Like, but honestly, yo, it's way bigger. It's way more intricate than that. How you have some of the most affluent black neighborhoods right there. And I live right down the street, you know. So I'm in the area, I'm in the neighborhood. But as I'm driving, man, when them palm trees sitting on the side of the road like that, and it's just it's a movie. It's a movie every day out here. People complain about how expensive it is, how hard it is to make it in LA. Well, you ain't working hard enough if you ain't making it out here. So you got to work hard. You got to dedicate yourself to go and get it. You know what I mean? So I was just really inspired this morning. And obviously from last week, Trav gave tons of inspiration. So I'm just ready to go, man. I'm ready to get into it. Well, let's go. Let's do it.
Yes, sir. Let's get it, bro. That episode last week was fire, bro. I'm still watching all the clips in the episodes this very day. But you know, gentlemen, we're gonna have more episodes just like that or even better. You know what I'm saying? So also, Tom, you already know how I feel about the Dodgers. Low key, I do have a Dodgers hat myself because I like the way, you know what I'm saying, the blue matches my fits. But
yeah, and you had a whole Dodger blue suit too. Don't forget about the whole Dodger blue suit you had.
Yeah.
Don't forget about that.
I be giving my boy pressure about them Dodgers though, but only because he's a Phillies fan. But that hat you got on right now is fire though. I ain't gonna hold you. That hat's fire.
Appreciate it.
Yo, staying with the plan. What's it? Excuse me. Not staying with the plan. Staying with the master plan. What's the deal, my boy?
Staying with the doctorate plan. What are you talking about?
Word.
Just another Sunday, man. Ready to get back to it.
I hear that. We try to get back to. What's the deal? What we got going
on? Getting back to talking about some of the topics going on in the world.
Okay, let's go. Speaking of which, we got to send our condolences to one of, unfortunately, way before his time, at the age of 36, Aldon Smith passed away. Causes of death is unknown, but the man is 36 years old. Like, I can't really imagine that because, you know, I'm an older brother, but my younger brother, in that sense, passed away. If you get what I'm saying, you know what I mean? So that's just sad, and unfortunate. I remember, I think he was he a rookie of the year or runner-up rookie of the year when he came in? I was looking at his stats. I think his rookie season he had like 14 sacks that season.
He might have been.
He was going crazy. It was at that time. I think the 49ers were putting together like a strong defense, and he was definitely one of those players with the strong, you know, anchoring.
Yeah, I think
it was line. So
I think it was him, Patrick Willis, and Navarro Bowman at one point.
yeah. They was going crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he
Yeah, that
was
defense was
very
nasty.
coveted. Yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah.
defense was nasty.
So, but
Hmm.
my condolences out to the Smith family, aunties, uncles, mom, pop, children. I'm not sure if he had children or not, but the entire Smith family, and keep your head up. Prayers with you guys, and God bless y'all.
Rest
Yeah.
in peace, brother.
Rest in peace,
Yeah.
indeed. Rest in peace, indeed. Other news, and freaking Knicks. I said I'm torn. I'm torn behind this because by nature I always root for the underdog. By nature I always root for the underdog, and so in a way I'm like, dang, the Knicks won. You know what I'm saying? So it's been a very long time. It's been a long drought from not winning a championship at all, and they finally got one, led by Brunson, arguably one of the greatest Knicks of all time now, over Patrick Ewing. But they won. Me personally, I was rooting for the Spurs, not because I like Wembyana, but I don't like the Knicks. I'm a Sixers fan. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So it'll be kind of hard for me to root for a team that's in our division that's also a rival. You know what I'm saying? That's like me rooting for the Eagles. Never. I would never root for the Eagles. I would never root for the Giants. I would never root for the Commanders. So I know the divisions is different. You got the East Conference, West Conference, and NBA. There's really no divisions like that, really. But I mean, I just can't. I can't get behind rooting for the Knicks at all. But congrats to Brunson. Congrats to Hart. Congrats to those Villanova boys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I give love.
So
I mean, I give
that's
love for that.
yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
Villanova, the connection. With the Jersey connection and the
Yeah,
Philly, Pennsylvania, right
yeah.
outside.
I
Villanova, right
got yeah.
outside of Philly.
I get love for
Now,
that.
that connection is love, yo, and
Yeah.
that's why I said I was kind of torn too, because I'm watching the game and I'm rooting for Brunson, I'm rooting for Hart, right, and I'm rooting for them guys to go and get it. But at the
Mm-hmm.
same time, I'm watching the Spurs team that I know is about to win 3 more championships. So it's tough that they lost, but I know that the Spurs will be back. So I didn't feel any kind of way where I'm like, for New York, this might be it. This might be a one and done type of situation. And the city ain't won in 50 years. So I wasn't, how do I say this? I was happy for individuals on the team. The city itself, nah, nah, no, not a chance. But I was happy for the players on the team.
Listen, them boys did them dudes dirty. Did them Spurs fans dirty, dog.
They made Philly fans. They took heat off of us, man. Everybody talks about Philly fans.
I knew you
Nah,
was gonna
nah.
go
We
there.
Now we gonna go
I
there.
knew you
We
was gonna
definitely
go
gonna
there.
go there. We definitely gonna go
One
there.
A, one B, one C. Yo,
Come
Boston,
on now. No, that's not. No, we're
Philadelphia,
not. We're not
Boston.
gonna do
I ain't
that.
say Philadelphia. I said Boston. We're gonna do that, bro. Come on, bro. I live in the greater Philadelphia area. You're not gonna tell me I can't do that. I'm gonna do that.
I'm gonna let you. I'm
Boston,
gonna let you go, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Philadelphia, New
Hmm.
York.
Hmm.
The fans, toxic, toxic,
I didn't
bro.
say we're not toxic, but I'm just saying the Knicks fans took it to a
What are you
different.
talking about here?
I'm saying the Knicks fans. There's like uh crap in the toilet, and then there's the toxic waste that's in the Simpsons cartoon. They turn into toxic. We're not outside in the streets punching and slinging people and ganging up like 101 like it's the Warriors. No, we're not. It's a different
Bro,
like
y'all doing,
Listen,
bro.
listen,
Listen, y'all.
listen.
Go ahead, go ahead,
Harassing.
go ahead, go ahead.
We're harassing. We are good at that. Top notch. Chef's kiss. Yes, we will follow you.
Wow,
We will follow you to the. Oh
Yo,
yeah, for
yo.
sure, for sure. Moi will follow you to the stadium, howling and little kids flipping you off the bird. That's very different than coming in 101 and just wailing on somebody. That's like night and day different, man. Or being out in
hold
Oakland,
up.
people getting stabbed up.
Listen,
Am I wrong?
you, yes and
Is there
no,
not a difference
but
there?
there's a difference, but trust me,
Yeah.
y'all jump people too. Y'all done that as well.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying we don't. I'm just saying like they took the heat off of us for at least a brief minuto. They're like, yo, Philly, crazy. Who else? Raiders fans, crazy.
Crazy.
Buffalo Bills
Yeah.
fans throwing themselves through tables, crazy. But the Knicks fans,
Yeah, they crazy.
that was different. That was
Girl,
different. That was
y'all all
different.
diabolical. They all diabolical. But I was actually thinking about that during the show. I'm like, yeah, they just definitely
Let me
themselves.
extend an olive branch. We're at a 90 right now. We're ahead of the pack for sure. But they're at 100 right now. They took it up a notch.
Oh, yeah, right now.
That was wild. That's
sure.
all.
They
That's
had
all I'm saying.
150.
That's all I'm saying.
Listen, but I remember this
What about that?
like
That's,
6.
yeah, go ahead.
I remember 8 years ago. I remember about 8 years ago, y'all threw y'all threw some homeless veteran out the off their wheelchair.
That's diabolical.
Dude had no legs.
That's diabolical.
Dude had no
diabolical.
legs, bro. I was like, what?
That's
He's
crazy,
homeless, no legs, and he's a veteran. Yo, y'all are
sad,
crazy.
yo. That's
And that was
sad.
that was a woman Eagle fan too, by the way.
That's
Drunk as
sad.
all get up. That was crazy.
All right, let me say this.
mean,
We're like okay. We're like a 95. You know how like McNabb was a 95 on Madden all those years.
Yeah.
The Knicks are like Peyton Manning at 98. They're just a notch above right now. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that we are not at all. I wanted to specify nuance. That's all.
We're
Yo, but I'll tell you what.
insane, yo.
What that Spurs fan last night? What y'all think about that dude? You see the Spurs fan last night after they got bounced?
I didn't see it. So what happened? What happened?
Yeah. I think Snoop or Tony Baker put up a clip of him like saying like, yo, he went out, but he went out swinging. He went out swinging. He definitely took a few with him. Yeah, that was like the Warriors, man. They jumped his ass.
Man.
But he got some. He got some though.
Clank.
Yo,
Yeah, you
catching
gotta
charges
get yours,
because
bro.
your team one is diabolical. You're gonna catch a charge just because your
Bro.
team won. That's insane. What is wrong
But this
with
is
you?
why, like, listen, this northeast area up here, dog, is just insane.
different.
Dog. I'm just
It's
saying.
different. Philly and New York is different.
Yeah,
man.
it's different. Philly, New York, even Boston get crazy too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like y'all get nuts, bro. Why can't I just have a speaking of, like, why can't you just have a regular parade, celebrate, you know what I'm saying? Do a couple towers, upside down, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, yeah, I mean, you got Philadelphia, they won the Super Bowl, y'all out there just hand diving into chunks of manure and eating it. I'm like, you guys make me sick.
Yo, eating horse shit is crazy. Eating horse shit
Crazy.
team won. Like if you just saying that don't make like what are you doing? What are you doing?
Northeast sports fans is different, bro. Northeast fans is different.
I could never, but I was like, you know what? I would expect nothing less. Would have expected nothing less, man. No, mind you, we had fans that punched the police horse, not just in the championship game, but after the Super Bowl win.
I forgot that.
See, I'm fair.
Yo,
I'm fair.
Y'all snuck the police horse. Y'all snuck.
Yeah.
Y'all,
2 weeks in a row.
Y'all
No,
saw.
yeah.
That's like actually assulting an officer. Did he get locked up?
That's definitely a charge.
That's a charge, bro.
Yeah, I think homeboy got locked up for sure. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
assaulting
I know he
an
got
officer
locked
is
up.
crazy.
Yeah, he probably got some years for that shit too. It's not don't make sense, yo.
Probably.
It don't make sense.
No, I don't. I think he was on his own there. It was funny, and then it's like, all right, yeah, you're going to jail. It's like we can't be out here. You can't. It's funny that you were diabolical to even think doing that, but like nobody's trying to see animals get punched out here, man. Like no.
It's like, come on, man. Now I gotta lock you up. Like it was cool up until this point. Now I gotta lock you up now.
Yeah.
Yo,
Oh my
but the
gosh,
Knicks.
But listen,
the Knicks,
it's
though, the Knicks
53
owner
years.
bringing in stars just to sit courtside though. There's not even fans. I was hurt for New York fans for that. I was actually like, yo, that ain't right. That ain't right. Cause there's this, I don't have nothing against Taylor Swift. Like, I don't got no beef with her. But at the same time, that's probably a lifelong Knicks fan that could have been sitting in that chair. You know what I
Facts.
mean? They probably done
Shout
spent
out to
their
Spike. Oh
hard-earned
damn.
money.
My bad.
Their hard-earned money. You
Shout out to
knocking shit over.
Spike.
But hard-earned money to, you know what I mean, to sit courtside, and even if they even if they are a millionaire, right? But spend their own money like a Spike Lee to sit courtside all these games and everything, and somebody like a Taylor Swift comes and sits courtside. I got no problems with the owners having, doing favors for favors and stuff like that. Maybe Taylor gonna sing at his kids, whatever. You know what I mean? Got no problem with that. But my thing is, let her sit a couple rows back. Don't let her sit courtside when that's a Knicks fan that been waiting his whole life, literally 50 years is is a whole lifetime, right? Been waiting a whole life to sit right there, worked his whole life to sit right there courtside, and then Taylor Swift is sitting there. She probably don't even know what the hell's going on in the game. Damn.
I agree. Unless she a Knicks fan, which I don't think she is, but I agree with that sentiment, bro. Like
She from Tennessee. I highly doubt she a
let
Knicks
that
fan.
that chopped cheese eating, New York style pizza eating, you know what I'm saying, die hard New York sports fans sit there.
Hell
Let,
yeah,
let,
man.
let the epitome of New York, you know what I'm saying, sit there. Not white New York, bro. I respect to the city, bro.
The
Respect to the
prices.
city.
I was
in
looking
effect, the,
at an Instagram clip.
go ahead, Stan.
Kind of to your point, man. They asked them how much did y'all pay for your tickets for Game 4, Game 5, whatever the case was. One dude said 20,000. Another person said like 10,000. I'm like, what? 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 I mean, listen, I love my team. If the Sixers made it there, I'll see y'all on TV. It's nothing personal.
They ain't tricking. They
I'll
ain't
see y'all
tricking.
on
They
TV.
ain't tricking if you got it.
And these are
They ain't
not
tricking if you got it.
millionaires. Some of them may have had like a small business, but a lot of these people are just regular, average Joes and Joes, man. Like they ain't got that type of money. So like, and then you're gonna bring in the celebrities. It's like boosting the property value, man. Tickets probably went from
Right.
like a couple
Right.
thousand up to like your whole arm and leg. You better not get any
Damn.
illnesses coming up this year.
Shout out to the loyal, man, to the faithful.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. New York faithful though. I hate y'all, but I love y'all dedication.
gotta respect it. You gotta respect it. Cause they travel, man. You heard that
That's
Spurs
crazy.
game when they was hitting them shots coming back. It sounded like they was in MSG.
Mm-hmm.
It did. It did. I noticed
Yep.
that, man. Them New York fans traveled. They went to San Antonio and they said we getting there. Also, I saw that either StubHub or one of the other third party ticket platforms had to refund some tickets because what happened, which can happen on StubHub, you can sell a ticket and then you can revoke your ticket. So a lot of people went out there from New York, got a flight, got travel, and also a hotel, and then got their tickets revoked before Game 5, and that happened to them. So you think about that. You just asked out, right? Yeah, you get your money for the ticket back, but you don't get your travel back, and you don't get your hotel stay back. So that's brutal. That's another thing about third party ticket companies. I got beef
Yeah.
with them, but we get into that later and talk about
Yeah.
that later. But
Facts.
let's get into the show though, gentlemen. Let's
Go.
go.
Let's go. So, real last point. That's karma for beating all them Spurs fans. Unfortunately, you guys got your tickets revoked, but y'all been punching people and getting punched on. You know what I'm saying? So whatever. Karma. But anyway, y'all still won regardless.
What's the karma for?
Beat up them Spurs fans.
I thought you said it was
beating
karma
the brakes
for.
out these.
I know you said it's karma for the Spurs.
Yeah,
Nah,
they couldn't
for
get
the Knicks
nah,
fans
for the Knicks
beating
fans
up
that
the.
could they
Oh, okay.
beat the Spurs.
I thought you said
I
it was karma
probably
for the Spurs
butchered
fans
that.
for getting whooped on. I was like, how that work?
No, them whooping on the Spurs fans.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
That is
yeah.
legit kicking a man while he down. If that would
Yeah.
have been the case.
Yep. But listen, man. So we're about to get into this topic that, you know, that for me it should be spoke. It's kind of popular, but maybe frowned upon a little bit, depending on which demographic you're talking about. But I'm gonna come out and say it, man. That you see the shirt, bro. Dragon Ball Son Goku. This segment's about anime, bro. Anime has taken the world by storm, bro. It has become mainstream it's popular. It's like everyone's watching it, everyone's talking about it, and it's just something that I felt like I wanted to talk about because it's something that I love. I love anime, right? So when I first started watching anime, um, I think I found it by accident, right? I found about it. I was watching TV and I was watching a kid watching cartoons. And I saw this one late night. I'm not sure what time it was, but I was young. One late night, and I saw this cartoon, right? And the character looked like a Bruce Lee character. I was into kung fu flicks. I love karate. I love Bruce Lee, and I was watching this. I was watching it, right, and they get into this fight, and um, they get into a fight, and these big broad dudes fighting each other, punching and kicking and stuff like that, and they fighting and stuff like that, and you know what I mean. And then next thing you know, the guy's head exploded. Now, I'm this little kid like, yo, what is this? This is on TV. I'm like, my mind is just blown. Like, yo, they got this out there in the world? Like, how come they don't show more of this? Bro, the anime was called Fist of North Star, dog. Whatever this character, this guy did, like he had some technique that you punch on him and like you get the blow and like your punches are weak and next thing you know your organs are exploding. Insane. So that's when it really got me like hooked, like got me like interested. And then of course, you know what I mean, Dragon Ball Z. Now for a long time as a kid, right? Especially, Dragon Ball Z was on. It went from when Raditz came down to Earth to kidnap Gohan, or they really to recruit Goku, but ended up kidnapping Gohan. And then the next chapter was about Vegeta got introduced. Oh, he come up down to the Frieza saga. So those three chapters kept on getting played over and over and over and over again. It could never go any further than what we know Dragon Ball Z is now. I always felt like there was more to it, but I never knew until I moved from Longside. And that's when the world of anime for me has got like increasingly larger. I didn't know there would I knew it, but then I found out there was sagas past Frieza. I learned about Goku becoming a Super Saiyan. I learned about Cell, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, and a lot of these things were subtitles. So a lot of my friends, Cherry Hill is very diverse, right? So like a lot of my friends in school, they would let me borrow the movies, video games, and stuff like that. And like my whole world was like yo, this is nuts. And ever since then, bro, like I've been just diving into this whole anime world ever since then. Ever since about maybe 12 years old. But back then it wasn't really popular. It was more like it's like a niche. Like people, it was like a very, very, very small like demographic of people that actually watch anime. And if you watch anime, you're considered a nerd or a geek or something like that. Let me tell you something. Anime is just not for children. It's not just for kids. Matter of fact, most of the anime watchers now aren't even children. They're either millennials or Gen Zs. We're talking about people our age are watching anime, right? And it's becoming popular over time, even more popular now. But really, what got it started was Pokemon. I was about how old were Tom when Pokemon came out? What, 12?
Nah, bro, it was way before that. We were like 8 years old, man. It was like
8 years old
because
Pokemon came
I was
out?
talking to you. Yeah, it was like 8 because I remember when I got that Game Boy Color. I was like 8 years old when I got the Game Boy Color, right?
Okay.
When Game Boy Color had first came out, and I mean that was revolutionary because this is way before a Nintendo DS or anything like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And nobody even talks about this stuff, so this is throwback millennial shit for anybody listening. But yo,
Share the
the Game
stories,
Boy
Tom.
Color, right? You had this, you know what I mean? The Game Boy Color, your first Game Boy, this big gray block, right? You had the big A, B, and your
Yeah.
cursor pad up, down, you know what I mean? Start and pause. Basically, that's what you had, right? On the Game Boy. But then that Game Boy Color came out, right? This revolutionized everything. You got a miniature game system with a color screen, right? And I believe at that time it was either 64 bit of color I think it was like 64-bit of color, right? So you only had like a little bit of colors on the Game Boy Color. But at this time, right, you had your Pokemon Red and your Pokemon Blue. This was way before. This was even a little bit before I think Gold and Silver came out.
You
Okay,
forgot
Wait,
so you
yellow
had the
too.
red
We had yellow
yeah,
too,
and
right?
yellow. Yeah, yellow too.
yeah,
Yellow. You had
that
yellow,
was the
right? You had
Pikachu one.
yellow.
Yeah,
That was the Pikachu one. That was the Pikachu one, right? So we was playing on the Game Boys in early, and what I was saying is when I was talking on the call, when I was saying we didn't even know what we were doing. Essentially, we were kids. We just enjoyed playing games. But this was anime, and this was from a different, it's from a different country, right? So this influence of international respect happened way before we even understood what a
what was
Japan
happening?
was. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah.
mean? And so like for you to say now, like Gen Z and millennials are adults now, and they're still completely in doctrine with this understanding of Japanese culture and anime, and understand that and passing that down to the next generation and the next generation, right? Creates you know what I mean, from large worlds and making it a small world from something like that. But also with that, right? And also with that was you when you could play against each other on Game Boy, you had to have that cord. And
Yeah.
I saved
The
up. I
Pokemon
saved
battles.
up for the Pokemon battles. I saved up, had the cord, so I could plug into mine. I could plug into one of my friends' Game Boys, and we could actually play each other, right? Because this was when there was only 150 Pokemon. Okay, catch them all, 150 of them, and then they came out with that
I
151st,
don't
and
know
that
how
changed the
many
game.
Pokemon is out there now.
See, it was 150. You see, I'm telling you, it all comes back. Yo, it all comes back. It started out with 150 Pokemon, yo, 150 of them, right? And like a lot of people had their favorites. Everybody knew Pikachu. Pikachu was the number one Pokemon. But my personal favorite was Charizard. I'm not gonna lie, Charizard was my favorite Pokemon of all time. But
I remember when
you know,
Charizard, when Charmander became Charizard, and he was fighting Magmar.
correct.
See, like I'm geeking out right now. You feel me?
You see,
Like
it
when
be like
he was
that.
Charmander, and
I
Charmander always gave
remember.
Ash Ketchum. Yeah, Charmander always gave Ash Ketchum uh, a big. Was it Charmander? No, Charmeleon. I'm sorry, Charmander was cool.
Charmeleon, yeah.
Yeah, Charmeleon. But when Charmander turned to Charmeleon, that's when he had an attitude problem. He was
I thought
toxic. You know what I'm saying? He thought his ish don't stink. We about to say Stan?
thought it was when he went to final form where he was Charizard. He was being an asshole.
No. Charmeleon at first.
Oh what?
He
No, I
became,
know
he just became a bigger one when he went to
He
Charizard.
got
Oh,
bigger.
okay.
You know
I
what I'm
got
saying?
you.
Yeah,
I got you.
yeah. So when Charmeleon, what they went to that volcano and Magmar was there, you know what I'm saying? Magmar was the volcano dude with the butt forehead. Friggin' yeah, that's remember. I don't know why his head was like a butt, but it looked
I
like
know,
a
that's
butt.
hilarious. Every
You know
time
what
you
I'm
pop
saying?
up on your screen.
But so Charmeleon tried to fight it, and Magmar was flexing on him, so he got mad. He just evolved off of anger and pride and frustration. He's evolved. You know what I'm saying? And went to Charizard. Now he's this big flying dragon, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he beats Magmar. But Charizard never actually still wasn't messing with Ash Ketchum. He was still like every time he burned him out, he just throw fire at him and burn him. You know what I'm saying?
He was a
Yeah,
problem. He was
he
always
was a problem. Yep. He eventually had to go do something else and left, so he became a better version of himself, I guess. Anyway, geeking out a little bit, but 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 yeah, bro. Like anime. Like to this very day, I still watch anime. I actually watch anime more than I watch regular TV shows, for real, for real. And I think it's for me. I think it just sparks for me. It sparks that creativity and like not creativity. So I don't really create anything, but I guess
Inspiration
that
or
fantasy inspiration. Not kind. There's a little bit of inspiration in there and all, but I'm I daydream a lot. You know what I'm saying, and a lot of my inspiration does come from fantasy and stuff like that. And so for me, like Goku, not my greatest inspiration, but I'm inspired by quite a few animes. One of my favorite ones right now is Naruto. That ended. Naruto was on fire, bro. Naruto was crazy. And that is what really inspired me about that one, because he was a kid that no one really messed with. You know what I'm saying? He was abandoned as a kid. If you watch the anime, you'll understand why. It gives a reason why he was abandoned. It wasn't like because his parents was just like, man, screw you, get out of here. But he had this demon that was placed within him, and he just couldn't. A lot of people knew about it, so they treated him unfairly. They treated him like he was a second class citizen, and all he wanted to do was just like be great at who he was. So he said one day I'm gonna be the Hokage. The Hokage is like the greatest leader in the village, and as time progresses, he makes these advances to get stronger, to get better at his craft, become a better ninja. And at one point in his life, he becomes the hero of the village, and now everyone's acknowledging him. So he's kind of like an underdog. You know what I'm saying? I have a soft spot for people like that. You know what I mean? People who were just overlooked, underappreciated, and then eventually becoming someone great. You know what I'm saying? Now everyone's on they, you know what I mean? Now everyone's riding. You know what I'm saying? So, but what's great about Naruto, like, he didn't let, everyone's hate fuel him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, yeah, y'all hated on me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't acknowledge me, but I'm not going to hold it against you guys. I still have respect and love for you people. Which is, I'm like, damn, that's kind of like Christ-like. You feel me? Like, because, like, they killed Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ's last words, like, yo, like, forgive them, Father, for they don't know what they're doing. Naruto kind of the same way, yo, like, I rock with y'all. Like, I respect you guys. I love you guys. And to have the whole, village acknowledge him as the hero was like, it was awesome. That's just one of the, one of the animes that I watch. I got a lot of animes that I watch, bro. One Piece, the ongoing One Piece right now, Luffy with the Straw Hat Crew pirates. Bro, I've been watching that anime since like 2001.
Wow.
It's over 1,000 episodes right now. I think it's 1,500 episodes or more. I think. And the manga's it's still going.
Yo, for a minute, go back to Dragon Ball Z, right? I know you on to One Piece now and everything like that. You got that Dragon Ball Z shirt on, right? And I'm sitting there listening to you, but I'm also looking at your shirt too. And people don't even I think even people that don't watch anime know what going Super Saiyan means. So what's wild about that is how anime became part of pop culture, right? And so people will reference anime anime references and not even know that they're talking about anime. And that's what I think really is dope about just the whole culture in general, though. It's like sometimes you'll reference things and you have and people don't even know what they're talking about. But I remember personally, I remember Goku. I remember Vegeta. I remember all the characters from back then, right? And I would come home and watch Dragon Ball Z just consistently. I know what time it came on. I knew everything, and I was just like, man, I'm locked in. I'm locked in. And the video games came out. You know what I mean? And we was on. You know what I mean? You was always kicking my ass. You know what I mean? On the porch playing. You know what I mean? I always lost, but I wasn't. You know what I mean? I was better at Madden. Listen, I was better at Madden than the fighting games because you used to kick my ass in the boxing games too. But listen, what I'm trying to say is that you was definitely an anime guy for sure, but Dragon Ball Z was the jam though. Who your favorite Dragon Ball Z character? Both of y'all, who y'all favorite Dragon Ball Z character?
Mine is Goku. And everyone, like, maybe that could be low hanging fruit, but if you think about who Goku is, bro, like, Goku is a pure character, bro. Like, he has no malice, he has no hatred. Now some of the decisions is kind of wild because like he can't run away from his Saiyan nature, which is fighting and competition. He wants to show how strong that he is, but sometimes him doing so, he really could end someone quickly, but instead he just fights for like the thrill of the fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, like the world's about to die, dog. Like, can't you just like end this real quick and fight? But that's not who he is. You know what I'm saying? But in also doing so, he's always trying to reform someone. Like Frieza. Frieza is a maniac. He's going throughout the entire universe killing people. And the joke now is that he's a racist because he calls the Saiyans monkeys. You know what I'm saying? Because they were, because when
But
they,
it wasn't racist though. It wasn't racist when he said it. Like,
it
I
wasn't, but
remember that. I
you know what
didn't
I'm
feel
saying,
that.
like, but they called Frieza racist because he hated an entire group of people and thought they were inferior. That he was superior and they were inferior. He will
Doesn't
always
that
call
still
them
count?
monkeys.
Don't
Yeah,
that still
yeah,
count?
that's what I'm saying. And what does that sound like? You feel me? Without me trying to say too much, but you know what I
Yeah.
mean. But you know, that's the joke that he's that he's a racist and these monkeys, right? But with these sayings, right? They have an innate latent power, right? If you beat one to the close of death, they come back stronger, right? And
Yep.
eventually, when Frieza did the mass genocide and destroyed their planet, I'm sorry. You asked me a question about who's my favorite character. I'm going off about Frieza. My bad. See, I'm geeking
Hey,
out
it's
right
all
now.
good, man.
So
It's all good.
you
You
know what I mean.
straight,
But
man. This is
Goku's
listen.
Goku's my favorite character. He's just the hero, man. He's always there showing up for people when they need him. Um, and for him to be so powerful, he doesn't flex his power onto other people. Like he's married to a whole regular human being, who he's like a million times stronger than. But his wife Chi Chi somehow wears the pants in the family, and she's afraid of him. He's afraid of her. I'm sorry,
It is hilarious.
but
That was
yeah,
hilarious.
that's
That
that's
back and
that's
forth between them two would be
Goku's my
funny.
guy. Yeah, Goku's my guy. Who's your stand?
Yeah.
Got it.
That's always been a tough one, but I'm more of a Vegeta guy because
Respect.
he always I never got things right the first time. I always had to, for some reason, either fail or struggle at something the first time, and then the second time, I'm just breezing through it. And it seemed like Vegeta had a similar path. Like he went from being the guy to all of a sudden there's this dude Goku that I can never quite catch. Like as soon as I hit his power level or surpass it, now he's going right past me. Like is or the people that I struggle beating at times, whether it be Frieza, whether it be Boo, whether it be Cell, you know. Now this, I have to. He wasn't able to beat Frieza, and then he was able to beat Cell, and then his arrogance like Goku had gotten away, and then all of a sudden he's behind the eight ball again. Like I always related with that struggle of overcoming. So that's why I related to Vegeta, and he would just get shit done, man. Like he not finna let these dudes ride out. Like man, if you a threat, I'm gonna get you up out of here, dog. Like we ain't nothing to talk
That's
about.
facts. That is one thing, especially in Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah,
He killed he got killed Frieza ASAP. You know what I'm saying? We'll try to get rid of him ASAP.
yeah, yeah.
But
And
I
he
like
be
Vegeta
having
too.
one liners. He be having one liners, man. He got a smart mouth, man. That's why I like him too.
Yeah, I like Vegeta too. Vegeta also, I think out of all the characters, I think Vegeta had the most character development because you got to think about talk about Reformation. He was the ops. He tried to kill
Right. He
Goku. He
was.
tried to kill he tried to kill everyone. But somehow he became one of the greatest Z fighters. You know what I'm saying? And eventually, married a human, had a family and stuff like that. So, and then showed endearment towards the people of Earth.
This
I think
man
for that, I
said,
think that was
this man said, if you could punch me in the face, Trunks, I'll take you to the park. I mean,
right.
what that the bond
Ain't
there,
that
man, the
different?
bond, the
Yeah,
love. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. And he got him. He got him, and he went to the park. He slapped Trunks. He's like, you just Trunks, well, you hit me. Well, I didn't say I was gonna hit you back. Now didn't I? Like, now get your stuff. We're going to the park. You know what I'm saying? Like after he punched Trunks dead in the face. Like bang. Trunks is crying.
Yeah, you know.
But here's one thing I can say about the difference between Trunk and Goku. I mean, Trunk, Vegeta and Goku. Vegeta is a present father versus Goku. Goku's always leaving, go to a different planet, go fight someone while Chi Chi and Gohan, you know what I'm saying, is there, or Gohan goes with his dad to go fight.
So
But
them ninjas
but
gonna be
yeah,
all
man,
right, man. I'll be back whenever.
Yeah, but
Hey, listen, it's the honor in the battle. You know what I mean? You gotta get the battle on. He
Yeah,
be back. I'll be
for real,
back. I just
we'll be
got,
yeah.
back.
I got to handle this on
We'll
another
be
planet real quick.
we'll be back. Um, but again, this the whole topic of anime, right? So anime is just not for. We talk about things that we watched when we were kids, but that's just a different genre of anime, right? So that
Hmm.
particularly, when we talk about Naruto, we talk about One Piece, talk about Dragon Ball Z, that's
Hmm.
considered shonen, right? That's shonen, right? And then you have like shojo, which is like that's for like rom coms for like girls and stuff like that. And you have seinen, or how you pronounce it. That's like for like adult anime fans. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about Berserk, Vinland Saga. We're talking about the animes that's more for a mature audience because there's a lot of blood, cursing, and a lot of things like that. You know what I'm saying? So take your live action movie that you watch and think of the goriest live action movie that you ever watched, right? And make that animated. That's called signing, right? And then you got Josie, and that's like another aim for like women, for adult women, right? And then you have I can't pronounce his word, but it's like Kodo Kodomomuki. Yeah, Kodomomuki. That's your Pokemons and Digimons and stuff like that. Something geared for the children. You know what I'm saying? So, but like I said, with anime, there's different genres, like the ones I just said. You know what I'm saying? You have your,
Hmm.
and then you get your themes. You got your mechs. You know what I'm saying? We watch Pacific Rim, Transformers, right? They're more, they're not anime. They're more American, but nevertheless, we have mech. We have anime Gundam. We have Gundam Wing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We have other animes that have like robots involved in there. And you have another one called Isekai. That's the one that's one I've been watching lately. When you're somehow you die and you get reincarnated into a different world or into a video game or something like that. Like the time I got reincarnated as a slime. That's a dope one. Solo leveling. That's a good one. Well, actually, that's not. I wouldn't consider that. I don't know. That's weird. But solo leveling is that's a new one that came out, which is just fire. You know what I mean? But bro, and then with the come of like Netflix, who's adopting more anime and stuff like that, like it's across the world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Crunchyroll,
for sure.
I have an anime account. I mean, I have a Crunchyroll account, I have a Netflix account, and I have a Hulu Plus account. I'm getting my anime. Luckily, with T-Mobile, I get the discount on Netflix, so I'm good off that. But yeah, bro, like not even talk about one of my favorite ones right now, One Piece. But yeah, man, like anime's not going nowhere. It's here to stay. It's only gonna get more popular. If you ever get a chance, watch this anime. Was I think it's Castlevania on Netflix. The
Okay.
Castlevania ones. That joint is fire, fire with Dracula.
Mm.
So good, bro. It is so good,
Mm.
so good.
Yeah, I've
It,
seen I've seen it. I just haven't
you
got the
gotta
opportunity to
you
click
gotta
on it. It's
watch
be
it,
so
bro.
much stuff to watch.
You gotta watch it. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up, man.
Gotta
That's
watch
what's
it.
up.
Gotta watch it, bro.
If you
No
want
doubt,
people
no doubt. So
to
since we on the international topic, go
yeah.
ahead, Stan.
Nah, yeah. Before we segue, I was gonna say, if you want to start people off on the fast track, if they have the stomach for it, send them over to Baki.
Oh, Baki the Grappler.
Yeah.
Oh man, yo, that joint on fire too. What's the other MMA one that's on Netflix? The
I
other
don't know.
one, I think it's
I
called
just know how.
Kenzie something. I forget what it's called, but it's like another MMA type underground fighting ring, like Baki is, but not
Okay.
as insane as Baki does. Like, yeah, freaking caveman fighting giant alligators, and you got
Oh
the
shit.
ogre. Yeah, it gets crazy, but it's nonetheless it's still fun to watch.
Yeah.
Another one, that tournament style fighting, Record of Ragnarok. That's on Netflix. Basically, all the gods, right? The gods, gods, right? They want to destroy mankind, right? So they create a tournament called Ragnarok. So you have the Valkyries who are in favor of mankind continuing to living. They become these secret weapons for mankind. I think one of my favorite fights when Adam fought Zeus, right? Adam from Adam and Eve. Adam, he fights
Uh,
Zeus. and his Valkyrie turns to brass knuckles. So this guy Adam is like has his little his leaf around his, you know what I'm saying? Got his leaf around there, butt naked with his leaf around it, and he's fighting Zeus like bare knuckles. But the crazy part about that was dope to me was he's beating Zeus like bad. Like he's beating bad. Why? What was the one thing about Adam? If you read your Bible, what was the one thing about Adam? What God said about let's do what? Let's make mankind into our image. So Adam, being the first man, was able to do everything that God was able to do, right? Because he was made in the image, able to do everything that he was able. So everything Zeus was doing, Adam was doing it a lot quicker because he's able to see it, and his power was in his eyes. So he's able to look and see what he's doing and be able to predict exactly what he's doing because he was created in the image of God. You know what I'm saying? So when he's fighting Zeus, he's beating Zeus up. And it's just not Zeus. It's not Zeus. You got Poseidon, Beelzebub. They had Hercules. They had some Indian god. There was all types of different like gods, right? They was fighting, and it was just an entertaining show, man. Jack the Ripper was representing the humans.
Yeah, I gotta check that joint out, man.
Yeah, go check it out, bro. It's dope.
And
It really
what
is.
show was that?
It's called Record of Ragnarok.
Okay,
It's on Netflix.
yeah. Yo, I be seeing all this stuff, man. I don't have no time. I don't have no time to watch nothing. But yeah, I gotta check
I'm
that out.
telling
I
you,
gotta check that
anime
out.
has gotten so big because a lot of these streaming companies has picked up on these animes. It's so popular now.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money in it too. You know, because
Matter of
there's
fact,
so much to it. With the trading cards, you got the trading cards, and you also have the other spawns of that, right? You remember a lot of the collectible stores, especially like years ago. You know, you would have the different figures, not action figures, but collectible, actual legit collectible figures, right? These things were like, dude, we talking about years ago, and it was like $100 back then, $200 for these collectibles, right, in the comic book stores. And you know, everybody's always known if you got the first edition of any comic book, that's gonna be worth some bread. But there was also all this many other facets of it that's worth big dollars, right? And now anime is big dollars. It's big dollars. It's $1 billion. I'm sure it's $1 billion industry. Don't quote me on that, but I guarantee you it's probably a $1 billion industry at this point. And just the collectible game is going insane. Like with the Pokemon trading cards and all the other different trading cards, like beyond baseball and basketball and football, you got just it's wild. The whole world has blown up with that stuff. So
yeah. And one last thing with this to show how popular it is, because some of these animes are actually becoming premieres in the U.S. Like Demon Slayer, right? The Infinity Castle, $20 million budget, $805 million gross.
Wow.
there you go, just like that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Michael Jackson had a $200 million budget. Roughly made about maybe $100, maybe $100 million more off a $200 million budget.
Yep.
So we're talking about anime as big as Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
For sure. Anime
For
is
sure.
huge, man. Anime is huge. There's no question about it. Anime is huge.
Yeah. But Tom, what we got, bro? What we got next, brother?
All right, so no, I was just like, as far as we just segueing on into the next topic. You know, we always gonna touch on these sports regardless of how it go. You know, and so what I was just saying is how anime brought us into an international realm from younger years as children to now as we're adults, right? The millennials, right? Just our age group in general is just so great because you also had with that mixture, we started getting international players in our four majors, right? Before that, there was always soccer, as always football has always been international game, played overseas, played here. Football didn't have
Baseball.
as much play though, like in the States, in America many years ago, like the 60s, the 70s, whatnot, and it really started to kind of pick up a lot more in the 80s with our age group because we became international kids. And so now you have all these players in the NBA that are international players that don't even remember a time when basketball wasn't international, yo. from the time that basketball existed, we talking about James Naismith in the
Right.
beginning of basketball. These kids don't even realize, or these kids, the younger generation doesn't even know anything about those days, right? They don't remember when, you know what I mean, the early 80s when the NBA came on tape delay, or there was not, you couldn't, wasn't no TNT to watch no basketball. Like that didn't happen. Wasn't TBS and anything like that. And when you got the privilege to watch NBA on NBC on Saturdays, it was, you couldn't believe it. Ahmad Rashad interviewing Michael Jordan was your highlight of your week. You understand? So now we have the games that are completely international, and it was spawned by many things, just like anime, right? So you look at like now today, you got a Victor Wembanyama. You may have not had no Victor Wembanyama if there wasn't an anime, if there wasn't an international connection when we were younger, right? Because as we got older, we started traveling and moving throughout the world with ease.
Without
There was
even
no fear of a different country.
without even having to get up from my seats or leaving our country. The World Wide
Correct.
Web becomes something crazy. You know what I'm saying? We was able to just open and see other cultures and other avenues and things like that. But go ahead, Tom.
Yeah. So it was just that easy, right? Like a Giannis. Man, you got a Giannis. And even before that, a Dikembe Mutombo. We knew, I'll be honest with you, we were as kids, we were ignorant. We didn't know everything. And then you have this 7 foot plus man playing NBA, and he's from an African country. You're like, where did this guy come
Don't
from?
forget Manute Bol.
Manute Bol, right? Yeah, Manute
Yeah.
Bol, right? And it's just, and you see this, and you realize the world's so much bigger, and sports plays such a major part in that, and all these different players that now today that we get to embrace and get to watch, because you go back to the 1992 Olympics when we had the Dream Team, right? It was basically, and it was touted, if y'all remember, it was touted as USA versus the world, right? Not USA versus
Argentina
you take any, yeah,
or
USA versus
Spain.
Argentina or
Yeah.
Greece
Yeah.
or any other. It was USA versus the world, because even in 1992, basketball was just starting to kick up in other countries, just really starting to get motion in other countries, right? And now we have the NFL that goes over to London every year,
And
and the
Brazil.
NFL also, and in Brazil now, Brazil, right?
I think
And
they're looking
it's
for
like,
other places as well to play there too. I think other country
right,
besides those two. We're still going to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
exactly. So you get that, and then there was the Polynesian influence, right? Because obviously you had the game of rugby, which was played here in the States very early, but rugby fell off because our American football kicked up. And that's why rugby fell off, because that's what rugby formed into American football, is what happened.
Yeah.
And you had that, and then obviously as the game of American football starts to spread around the world, you get the Polynesian players, right? You get the guys that do live in the Australias and do live in the New Zealands and do live in heavy rugby countries that say, I could translate football or I can translate
Rugby.
rugby into American football as well too. So these games become international. As we get older, we start to learn and adapt to many different things, which goes into an evolution of the human mindset and the human psyche. But it's just amazing to see, and when you start to put it all together, everything is connected, right? And I'm just wondering, right? I'm just wondering if you had all these different athletics and all these different games, right? You put them all together, right? Who would be number one in the world? Like, I'm talking about who at like worldwide of all time. And you only got to answer this. We could do this on the next episode, because I need people down in the comments to shout out on this. Who would be the number one athlete in the world of all time? Yo,
I'm
so
definitely
we're
thinking
gonna
about
move
that.
on from that. we gotta think about
Yeah.
that one. I'm putting that out there, yo. I'm putting that out there, and we're gonna clip that because who would be the number one athlete in the world of all time? I don't think many people have tried to touch on that because how do you do it? But we gonna try it here at Jack of All Trades. We damn
Facts.
sure gonna try it.
Yeah.
But moreover than that, I would just say that we have been so lucky as a generation to get all of these different influences from all these different parts of the world into what we have now today. I want to ask y'all though. I want to ask y'all, right? First and foremost, how I want to ask y'all if you didn't know any sport, right? Let's say just wipe your mind clean of any sport and you saw a sport for the first time, what would international or American, what would be the sport that y'all would be like, yo, this is the most amazing game I've ever seen in my life?
What do you think, Stan? I know you said try to clear your mind, but I tried. That's still good.
It's still a hard one.
Yeah.
I mean, out of the ones that are out there, I've always been big into rugby.
International sport, you said?
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about sport of all time, though. Like, or
Sport of
not
all
of all
time.
time. Just if you saw a sport, right? Like, if
Yeah.
you saw a sport, right? Take all the sports you've ever seen before, right? And I mean, I've watched everything. I even watched the Ocho. If you ever watched ESPN 8, that shit crazy. They be having anything on there. But all your sports, I mean, I'm talking about from volleyball to rugby to soccer to football to baseball to hockey to anything, right? Think about all these different sports, right? Whether it be international or American, if you saw this sport for the first time, you would be like, yo, how is this even like I've never seen nothing like this before.
That's hard. I'm gonna give you three.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you three. Going to give you football, American football, rugby because it's like football, and probably Formula One racing. That would be mine.
Okay.
Football one, one the teamwork, the X's and O's, the concept, the understanding of how to attack and defend. It takes strategy involved. It's not just a matter of brawn, right? Because obviously you have other people who are just as strong or not stronger than you. So how can someone who's smaller have leverage? Prime example, Jason Kelsey. He's not the greatest or the biggest center, but damn it, he's a great center. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna leverage. He's smart. He's cerebral. And he understands, his strengths and how to leverage his size and the lack of, and still be able to really, be effective. You see this kid, Jason Kelsey, just running down the field, blocking for the quarterbacks and stuff like that. Like, dude's 300 plus pounds, or how much does he weigh? I don't think he's that heavy, but how much does Kelsey weigh? Stan?
I mean, he got up there at one point, but he came into the league at like 270 or something like that.
Yeah, he not a big guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you got your offensive lineman, you have your defensive lineman, wide receiver. My favorite position, obviously, is the running back. Never seen anyone like Barry Sanders ever in my life. Although I said LT, but far as skill wise, I've never seen Barry. I've never seen someone shake someone like that ever. That's crazy. Had people tackling each other, followed by Dante Hall. Dante Hall was also crazy. The human joystick.
Yeah.
So football, so football for me is like my favorite, and then rugby obviously, because it's similar. Not so much shaking and baking and stuff like that. Just pure. I got respected because what they're doing in there, they have no pads on, no helmets, no pads, just out there.
And the ball, listen, the best thing about rugby that I always love, even playing it, is that you can only throw the ball backwards. Now you can advance it forward if you kick it, but you can only throw the ball backwards. So the whole game is based on the premise of who got your back.
Laterals. Exactly. That's dope.
Laterals
Yeah.
are behind
Yeah.
the whole game,
Yeah.
right? So who got your back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ain't worried about, like, you obviously looking forward, but you got to know who you got
Yeah.
with you. You know what I mean? That's one thing I always loved about that concept, is because it's like going to war.
Yeah. That's dope.
It's legit.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's
I like
Yeah,
when they
yeah. So
be
that's
running and sometimes they would jump off of somebody's thigh or back or something like that. Like when the ball's in the air, like like to get leverage off one of their teammates or somebody on the other team.
Oh yeah. That's You got lineouts.
Mm-hmm.
So when you are from stoppage of play and you bring the ball in,
Yeah.
you got to do a lineout.
Yeah.
Bring it in, and then you got to lift your man up, and they got to catch it and then restart play. It's like a jump ball in basketball.
Right.
Actually, is the concept of it.
That's dope.
So yeah, rugby, man. Rugby's the game, yo. It's brutal though.
It is brutal.
I've seen so much happen on that pitch. I've seen broken noses. I broke my collarbone. I've seen people dislocate shoulders. I've seen some crazy ass contusions on that field. All the front, your front eight, which would be tantamount to what you would consider your front line in football, but your front eight, they all got cauliflower ear, just like all the wrestlers. Right, and they're some tough guys, man. They're some
Got
tough
to be.
guys. But the best thing I will always say about rugby though, anybody can score though. So even your big men gonna get shine,
Yeah.
because they can score.
Yeah.
They can score. So that's the thing about rugby, man. It's your team. It really is your team. It's not, hey, this guy gets more shine than nah. It's everybody. Everybody gonna get it in. You know, so you gotta lean on your guys. But you said your third one, which I thought that was interesting.
Before I get the third one, you got to shout out to the women rugby players as well.
Oh, shout out to women's rugby.
Women rugby players be getting at it, bro. They be going crazy.
Yes.
If not harder than the men do. I'm like, dang.
That seems
Especially
to be
go back to the
a trend in a lot of sports, like women boxing. Like there's no feel out phase.
bro. It's amazing to see, bro. And it be out. There's especially the Polynesian players out in New Zealand and stuff like that, and all them, bro. They be going dumb out there.
Yeah.
Just straight up stiff arm. You know what I'm saying? Run you over. Like it's like, she definitely broke something. She definitely broke something. But shout out to the women rugby players. But Formula One racing,
Rugby's great, yo.
I don't really have any like in depth analysis of Formula One racing. I just driving fast and the turns and you know what I'm saying. Like remember when we was younger, bro, we used to do the Hot Wheel cars back then. We was into a lot of stuff, bro. Like Hot Wheel cars with Raph and Anthony Rutland stuff like that. We would trade cars and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like and then we had the
for sure.
And then I'm not sure if you remember, there was this toy, this it was like this map, this floor mat we had we put on the floor and just have our cars act like we're racing. You know what I'm saying? So, but Formula One racing is dope to me. They look like jets, little jets with wheels, and really just the turning and the laps and to go that fast and with such precision on those turns and stuff like that when a jet looks like an airplane.
That wasn't like one of my top picks, but I think what fascinates me about NASCAR and Formula One racing is the teamwork, like the pit crew, like the amount of synchronization you have to have between the driver and the pit crew to be able to. You could be winning the race, and then you spend too much time at a pit stop, and now you cooked. Like all these little things. Yeah. That just matter all the way up to how skilled the driver is. You're going like almost 200 miles an hour, if not a little bit more. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but definitely up there. I mean, your depth perception, hand-eye coordination, like your mental reflexes, like to train that up to that point, people don't realize how difficult that is.
Yeah, you gotta be in shape to do that too, because of the G's and forces that you're putting in your body to make these turns and stuff like that, and then to drive like that at that fast at that length of a time. Yeah, you can't be. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be in shape, bro. Definitely gotta be in shape. You can't be.
It's not like driving to Walmart. It is not.
Nah, it's not at all. Like,
No, not at all. Not at all. And
like
you know the thing about Formula One, man, it's also a family sport. Cause you take like the Andretti's, the whole family race. It's not just one standout that just, oh yeah, I learned how to race. It's really a fan, because first of all, racing's expensive. It's very expensive, and you got to start out somewhere. So if you ever watch the progression of how someone becomes a Formula One racer, right? Because you do also have Formula 2 and Formula 3 racing. But before that, you got boxcar racing, you have kart racing, and all that. And if you ever really look at some of these drivers, some of these all-time drivers of all time, they also do race on other circuits as well too.
right.
But like, just to use a family like the Andretti's, right, between Mario and all the other brothers, they know the sport, right? Like, where even you take, like, for instance, like a Rick Brunson and Jalen Brunson, right? How basketball has now become a family sport within their family because one guy jumped out there and did it. But racing is like that. But this should go back to the 20s, and when cars first start getting made, you know what I mean, the Model T, they was racing them back then. And obviously how NASCAR got started beyond, you know what I mean, bootlegging and moonshining. But now it's like, it's really family and doctrine. So they take that shit serious. Like, where we look at other sports, and you know, some guys get on, like with football, you got some football families, right? But with racing, it's the whole family. Then you got your family members on the, like Stan was saying, in the pit crew, and everybody. I guess a team effort. Mom might be on the team as well too.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like, that's how deep racing is. So that's why F1, when you brought that up, I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, F1 is serious as hell,
serious.
bro. Like, that's a top sport that a lot of people don't. I would say they understand it because it's racing and everybody understands going around the track. They just don't get the intricacies of how important racing is, because somebody don't bolt down a wheel, that could be somebody's life.
For real. For real.
Exactly. Like,
And then
like
you gotta talk about. Tom, help me understand this, because sometimes, maybe not so much in NASCAR, but in Formula One, sometimes you can have teams, right? You can have a driver one and driver two. I've never really understood that, of how that even works. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, it's about first place. But apparently, there's a strategy involved. And I think there is
a strategy involved.
And there was a movie maybe about 2-3 years ago called F1 that I never finished watching, but I heard was a good movie.
F1 with damn, what's his name? Stallone. Sylvester Stallone was in F1. No, he was in Driver. F1 is with
Brad Pitt and
what's Brad Pitt?
And
Brad
the dude
Pitt
from
dude from Snowfall.
Yeah, him. They were both on the same team.
Yep. So the concept behind having a racing team, right, is that generally you got you know who the best driver is right off top. You know who the best driver is, and a lot of times he has the best mechanics as well too. But it's always that possibility. It's like it's to equate it to anything would be like QB1 and QB2, right? So you got your starting quarterback, and you know he's the best on your team. But you also know that you could bring in your second quarterback and he can get the job done. And every once in a while, QB2 becomes QB1.
Right.
Okay.
And that's pretty much how racing goes, right? Now,
is that with one car, or I'm talking about Formula One, sometimes be having two cars?
No. Formula One teams have multiple cars.
Okay.
They have multiple cars. But there are restrictions and regulations with the cars. So they have to meet the standards of Formula One for that year, and the standards will change year to year with rules and regulations. But they have multiple cars that they bring. So when you see, well, a lot of times, and this is $1 million cars. These cars are worth millions of dollars.
Right.
And when you
like jets, like the little jets.
Yeah, these cars are worth millions of dollars, with millions of dollars of R&D put into them, research and design. But yeah, they bring multiple cars with them. And you know what's really fly about it? You ever thought how these cars get to the track?
Nah, in pieces. right?
Well, in pieces, and I mean, or they'll roll them into boxes, they'll crate them up, and they fly them to different countries
Okay, okay,
because they got to get them there within 2 weeks,
yeah,
a lot, or actually in basically in a week, because you got to get there, you got to test, you have to go through the judges. The judges got to look at your car, make sure you're not cheating, make sure all the regulations and the cars match everybody else's car, because if you got an advantage. And an advantage could be something as you're using a carbon fiber front wing on your car and you're not supposed to have that. That could shave off tenths of a second, and that could get you a championship.
that's dope. I see this is the part that the intricacies of racing I didn't know about. I'm just looking at it as, man, get around the track and just win. Yes, that's just how I'm looking at it. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, there's a strategy involved, and shout out to those guys,
Absolutely,
man.
absolutely.
That's
Yeah,
dangerous, bro. Like that's whew. Besides a combat sport, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
racing, like you said, and then get into a barrel when you bump off the road going like 180 miles per hour and stuff like that. Yo,
Man,
like
man, the levels of adrenaline that those guys have is something insane, though. And they'd be cool as ever. If you ever listen to them on the box, that's the radio. If you ever listen to them on the box, they just be cool. Something tragic will happen or something, you know what I mean, dramatic. Engine blow right up under them, right? Like you said, these are jet engines in these
yeah,
cars, right? And they'll be cool. They'd be like, my my engine doesn't feel right. Like, it'd be
yeah,
cool. I would be in the car screaming for my
word,
life. I'm dying. I'm dying.
word. And then
I'd be like Ricky Bobby on the
yo,
joint.
in the way they're just not seated in there like a regular seatbelt neither. They are
You strapped in, man.
zip tied,
You
strapped
say zip
in.
tie.
You know what I'm saying? They in there, bro. Like they got all
Yeah,
types of
yeah.
buckles in that joint. You know what I'm saying? And then you got the roll cage in there to make sure that you're not bouncing around in there. So I mean, you're definitely solid in the cockpit. You feel me? So that's just something that I thought was interesting, bro. It's
Yeah, F1 is crazy,
yeah,
man. Like NASCAR, that's top notch, that's high level. But NASCAR is even more wild because most of it is street racing.
yeah, yeah,
Like when they race in Vegas, that's on the
yeah,
street. They just happen to block it
yeah,
off.
yeah.
So you can't necessarily control that there's not bumps and potholes and stuff like that in the road. It might be.
Wait,
You know what I
so
mean? You
you
gotta drive
said
around that.
F1, but then you said there's F2 and F3. What's the one they
Yes.
actually like they go into the city and barricade the roads off so you can actually drive in the city? What's that one?
Well, so what'll happen is you have F1 racing, which is what it
Right.
is, right? That's number one. That's top line, top deal. But F2 and F3 will also race on the same weekends a lot of times. They just don't televise that, right? Because those are either the smaller teams, and they also have a little bit of a smaller engine in those cars as well too. But I mean, it's just as competitive, just as F1. And a lot of times, some guys will come up from F2 and race F1 or vice versa and stuff like that. But it's multiple different teams and things like that. Obviously, the top teams in F1 right now, you got Red Bull Racing, Verstappen, and you have what's the guy that just left Mercedes and went to Ferrari. Um, um, I forget
I
his
ain't gonna
name, the
lie,
black
bro.
guy.
I would like to go to a Formula One racer one day. Like one year, I was like, let me
Yeah.
check this out. Like I've never been to a NASCAR one, but I definitely would like to go to a Formula One racing. Check it out
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. Lewis. He's he races for Ferrari now,
Okay.
and he's doing pretty good. He's doing pretty good this year as well too. But yeah, some of the races are super dope, right? You got and they, you know what I mean, when they just racing in like Dubai, yeah, or when they racing in Miami, or when they just racing all different around the country, man. It's just the aesthetic view of looking at that track and looking at these cars. Man, it's
That's
beautiful.
what I'm
It's just
saying.
beautiful. It's like picturesque. It's
That's what
picturesque.
got me like dang, like this joint on fire. Like I'll be I could be like sitting on the couch one day just going flipping through the channels and then I see I'm like, oh, let me see it for a little bit and watch this, what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Oh
like, oh,
yeah,
this is fire. Like I actually got
and it's
I got I just got back into to racing car games again. I got the Crew Motor Fest. The joint us there in Hawaii. So it's fun.
yeah, Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
So it's a lot. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. But that just shows you how much that the world for us did change, though.
Mm,
You know, and how we do look at sports and how television did bring it to our forefront, but that we were willing to accept it.
yeah.
So that's just really dope. That's really
So
dope.
tell you that
Yeah.
one.
Um,
So with that, if we're accomplishing everything, I mean, dog, like I don't see any American cars really competing in the Formula One racing or like that for real, for real. I don't I don't see it. It's either Ferrari, Mercedes. I think Porsche left. Didn't Porsche leave the racing scene like a few years ago, like 5, 6 years ago?
I think Porsche did leave because you have the McLaren
Hmm.
team, you have the Williams team, Williams Racing. You have I'm just trying to run down, and I do think Porsche had left out of F1
Hmm.
racing. I do believe so.
Yeah, and I
It's a lot of money though. It's a lot of money in those racing teams, and somebody has to fund
yeah,
that
and
too.
I remember
So
I remember some of the like Ferrari and them actually showing love to like the Porsche when they decided to leave, and they just showed love to yo, good luck with everything. You guys were one of our greatest competitors. You know what I'm saying, appreciate you for all the races and stuff like that against each other. It was dope.
yep.
It was dope to see that. I'm not sure it was Ferrari or Lamborghini or whatever, but someone said something on
Hmm.
behalf of Porsche from the one of the competitors. It was dope.
Yeah, man. It's just it's a lot. Like it's a lot on a team and funding and trying to put a team on that track. It's one thing. I would say it's one thing like basketball. A lot of times, or baseball or football in this country, or even soccer, football in other countries, you know somebody gonna show up, right? Like you could build a stadium and you're gonna be like somebody gonna pull up, but all you need is one ball to play them sports and maybe a basket or a net. With racing, you need a car, and cars ain't cheap. So that
Yeah,
is
the
that
maintenance
is
of a car is not cheap, so you're right
is maintenance of a car ain't cheap,
at all.
right? So that's the fundamental difference between the sports, and that's what probably makes it harder because sometimes it ain't the athlete that wins, it's the actual car.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So moving
Yeah.
on from that, and we're gonna move on to like I was talking about how television has brought us everything from sports to unfortunately trials. And what we now have now is a young man that unfortunately will be spending his time in jail for 35 years for an unfortunate murder of another younger man at a track meet. The two are Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf. Um, when we were discussing this and discussing whether we wanted to talk about this or if we actually wanted to talk about it on our podcast, for me it was necessary, but I didn't really want to talk about it just because in any trial, especially murder trial, there's always been two lives that are at stake. The one person who got murdered and the other person that committed the murder, whether it be from self-defense or whether it be because it was actually premeditated and meant to do. So I'm gonna pass this one off to y'all. I'll give my take at the end, but Jamal, you kick it off. How do you feel about what happened for the 35 years being handed to Carmelo Anthony for the murder of Austin Metcalf?
So here's one thing. Is so one. This is Texas, right? There's no degrees of murder in Texas. No first degree, no second degree, no third degree, nothing like that, right? Third degree is actually considered manslaughter in other states, right? So for Carmelo Anthony to get 35 years, it's kind of wild to me because yes, he had a pocket knife, but was it his intent or even premeditated for him actually to go hurt someone? I don't think so. I don't think that's the case, and really, the difference between the two, because there was another case that was done not too long ago with another, similar. similar case, right? Um, what was that case? It was, one second, good fellas. Also in Texas, there was another stabbing between two high school kids, right? Not in the track meet, but versus this one, right? It was, I'm trying to get the guys, Casey Allison. Casey Allison. So there was a difference, right? So you have Casey Allison, right? He went to I guess a party. He had to an argument with another kid, and there was Snapchats and text messages and talk about let's go fight on this date. It's like over a 4 day period. They planned on fighting, and it eventually happened in a high school bathroom, and this kid stabbed this other kid not once but 4 times, 4 times, and it was been proven that there was premeditation because he said he was going to beat the kid up on both sides. Both sides were talking trash. You know what I'm saying there's text messages, Snapchat, social media messages, all types of stuff. But that juror gave Allison 10 years for criminal negligence, which was
Mm-hmm.
wild to me in comparison to Carmelo Anthony, who was trying to dodge the rain, sleep underneath the tent, although he was supposed to be there. But clearly, it was shown that there was no like prior engagement. They didn't know each other. Whereas Casey Allison, they knew each other. They argued with each other. They fought with each other. You know what I'm saying over 4 days. But I don't see the difference between why Carmelo Anthony will get 35 years versus Casey Allison will get 10 years. How can you look at
Right.
both and say they're not they're similar but different? You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? They both had knives on their person, right? But one actually intended on using it. The other one
Right.
not so much. So my disparity is just, why give Carmelo Anthony 35 and give the other guy 10 years? And the other guy 10 years is a white boy, by the way. He's a white kid. So not trying to make this a racial thing, but it'll be kind of ignorant to say that race doesn't play a part in this. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like we legit live in 2026. There's a thing called DWB, driving while black. I shared this in a post to you guys the other couple of days ago. There are sundown towns that still exist in America in 2026. And to say that, that race doesn't play a part in America, I don't really that's not being honest because it absolutely does. Right? I don't I don't
Here's
I don't want to
here's
I don't want to say that the jurors because they were white that they actually said, "Yeah, we're going to charge you because you're a black kid." It's possibly there was, but like, come on, bro. The evidence. If you could listen, just look at the two trials,
mm-hmm.
similar but different.
Mm-hmm.
I would switch the verdicts. I would give Carmelo Anthony the criminal negligence and give the other
Mm-hmm.
kid, the white kid, the 35 years. He stabbed the
Yeah.
kid 4 times. One in his
Yeah.
chest, one in his back, and two in his butt.
Yeah.
That's crazy. How do you give someone criminal negligence for stabbing wounds?
And see, this is where I have a problem with the justice system because what I did after doing some research, right? That's a smaller it's a smaller county in Texas, right? But nevertheless, they tried him in the same county that the stabbing happened, that the murder happened, right? So there wasn't not a juror that they could have chose from that didn't know about this. So they already had a preconceived notion of what they were going to choose, even though the facts stated or the facts given within the trial, people already knew what they were going to say before, or what they were already going to either convict or not convict before the trial even happened. And that's also another problem I do have with the justice system a lot of times is because these trials happen and people already have their thought of, oh, he guilty or he not guilty based on the public opinion. not even the facts that have been proven right in front of them. And that's a lot. That's another issue with the justice system that does exist and that is true. Whether beyond like race, which obviously still plays a part in America, this whole place is based on race, and I don't think anybody should think otherwise, right? But even to move the needle forward to like try to get out of we're still playing, you know what I mean, race against each other, which is just it's such an antiquated, it's old school, and we as a like humans need to move past it, but we still here. And the justice system is still stuck so many years. We in the 1800s as far as justice is concerned in this country of America. So, it's unfortunate, but like you said, Maul, the situation, honestly, 35 years, because it's a lot. Because the kid didn't wake up that morning and know he was going to stab somebody. Like he didn't. And whether or not he had a knife in his bag,
Yeah,
whatever. But he didn't. He didn't know he was going to stab Austin Metcalf today.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So that's a tough
I'm
one.
just wondering how severe was it the fact that he had to pull out a knife. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, he was the only person there. You know what I'm saying, of his own team, right? He's surrounded by other
Yeah.
kids. I'm you know. So here's the thing. Here's my stance on this. There's no way around it. You know what I'm saying? In Texas, like, dude, you're guilty, but the
Yeah, for
30,
sure.
but the sentencing is the part I have an issue with. That
Yep.
that's that's
Yep.
that's that's the issue I have with the whole case.
Mm.
Yep.
35 years is wild. Like you would have to like psychopaths and serial killers get that type time because they're actually planning
Yep.
on doing this. Carmelo Anthony didn't plan
Yep.
on killing nobody.
He
Not at
didn't.
all.
Uh,
There's no way. There's no way. He didn't even, know the kid. But go ahead, Stan. Go ahead, Stan. I'm sorry. I interjected. Go ahead, Stan.
no, 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 not no problem at all. I haven't. I've been living in a bubble in many facets. Obviously, I've heard of the case, but I don't have not privy to a lot of the details. You guys have caught me up to speed to a certain extent, but I'll take it a step further. Beyond race, class. How many times do we see
Mm.
athletes or people or prominent figures or people who have influence or money or clout do similar things and not even go to jail? I remember one football player. I'm not going to throw his name out because I don't want to spark any backlash against him more than he already got at the time it happened. Ran somebody over. I think. Well, I don't know if he ran him over or hit a car and killed them, but it was a uh, a lady, and it might have been a child with her, or she was pregnant, or whatever the case may be. But he took a life at the very least, and he got suspended from football for 1 year. And I can't remember if he even got jail time for that. And you're like, you clearly killed somebody. Was it intentional? No, but you're driving reckless. Might have been drunk from the story, if I can recall correctly. Doesn't matter. You still killed somebody. So how come you don't get any time and you get to continue your football career versus either Carmelo Anthony or this other person you're always talking about? How are they getting time where people who are in higher status positions do not for doing the same thing? Or even going back down to the example based off of race, possibly. Like, why does one person get more time, even though they premeditated that action, versus somebody who was reckless and dumb but didn't premeditate it? They both should
Yeah,
be punished, but why is there a disparity there?
that's exactly where we are right now.
Yeah.
You have one who had no intention and one who had an inkling or intention to do something. And that's exactly where I'm at. I'm not trying to. I'm not an attorney. I can only digest and interpret the information that's presented before me. But based on what I read and what I listened and what I watched, the verdict should be switched. 10 years versus 35.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think 35 years. Like I said, first of all, a life has been lost. No matter what happened, particularly on that day, somebody got killed, right? That is somebody's son. That is somebody's brother. That is, somebody's could be in the future, could have been somebody's uncle. And what happens? It's a child. He is a kid at the end of the day, right? So he still would have the opportunity, even if at that time he had ill intentions. If he doesn't die, maybe he could change his ways. So my thing is that so we're just taking two lives away from two families, and now we have more heartbreak for something that A could have probably been prevented, and B wasn't thought to to happen, right? There's no way Carmelo Anthony was like, I'm gonna go kill somebody today. So yeah, and people have had intention, just like you said with the other case, had intention to go kill somebody, got lot less time, you know. And a lot of people get a lot less time for murder in this country. America, America's a rough country. People do get killed every day. And to give him 35 years is is a lot. It's a lot. And he's appealing. He is appealing the judgment of 35 years. But I think the judge, like my thought process here isn't the guilty verdict. It's the way American justice works.
That's it.
The justice system, the justice system is so screwed up in this country that people will like even what Stan just said. If you got a lot of money, you can get away with murder. You legit can get away with murder. And if you don't have any money, you're going to jail
Mm-hmm.
forever. And so, how do we have a justice system that is not just for damn near anyone? Because you could almost take, and there's certain cases where you could take race completely out of this, and you get a poor white person, and he gonna get life the same way a poor
That's
black
true.
person gonna get
That's
life,
true.
because neither one of them got money, and they're represented by either a public defendant or a lawyer who just doesn't either have the time
Yep.
and they haven't paid him enough, so he can't actually devote his time to this
Mm-hmm.
case. And so we're at a point, we're at a point now, this is 2026, where we have all the information in the world and our justice system is still operating like the 1800s. Something got to change.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bro. I
To
just
your
want
point,
justice, man.
yeah,
It,
to your
and
point.
it's just like go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Ma.
No, I was just going to just agree with that sentiment, man. It's not a, on, we're not debating, if someone's innocent or guilty or not. Unfortunately, someone passed away, and unfortunately, someone's getting locked up. But what the issue is, like we said several different ways just now within the past 5 minutes, how is someone getting 10 and the other person getting 35 for almost a identical crime? If not, one actually shows more that what happened with them was premeditated versus this one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the justice system has. I would say it came along. It still needs to be fixed. It's gotten
Yeah.
better. I mean, over time, but in some cases, I scratch my head. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
understand it.
Yeah.
But go ahead, Stan.
Yeah, slightly off topic, but not really. I think one of the most ingenious things that the the powers that be have done over the past few centuries even is pit people against each other based off of color without realizing the one color that matters the most in terms of the outcomes, which is green. White people think they better than black people. Some black people that's pro-black think they better than white people. But if you don't have money, not saying that money is everything, I'm just speaking about the realities of the world that we live in. If you don't have a certain status or a certain amount of money or a certain amount of influence, they will remind you that you are not one of us. You think you're one of us because you're white. You think you're one of us because you have money, a little bit of money here. No, you don't have our money where we're at in our tax bracket. No, you're going to get what we think you should get, just like the rest of them. Black, white, yellow, purple, doesn't matter. You don't have green. So I think people, I'm not saying that these details don't matter. Like, why is one person possibly getting favoritism in terms of their sentence versus another? But at the end of the day, both sides, y'all going to jail, as opposed to somebody who may be a trust fund baby. They're not. And they get us arguing back and forth about, oh well, he got 35 years versus he got 10. And it's a valid point, but it distracts you from the bigger issue in that certain classes of people get treated a certain way, whether you're getting severe punishment or not, versus a different class of people. They don't have the same type of consequences, if any, that we get. Once you get people bickering back and forth, do you want to be right or do you want to be effective? You may be right that somebody got a less severe sentence when they shouldn't have, but we're still not focused on the people like the CEOs of the worlds, the people who are running the stock market, people in positions of political influence and power, so on and so forth. Do you want to be right or do you want to be focused on the things that matter the most? You can always come back to these conversations that we're having now because they are valid. But if we don't start focusing on the people who are living in a different tax bracket or different stratosphere and just looking down and laughing at us, then what do these not petty, but in the grand scheme of things, insignificant squabbles mean when we have bigger fish to worry about? And I want to preface that by saying, and I always want to preface it by saying that I'm talking about class because people get their panties in a bunch. Oh, you hate black people. Oh, you just think white people should get away with everything. Oh, you just think that black people have been oppressed for forever many years and they should just be able to do whatever they do want to do to white people. No, it's just let's focus on the bigger picture. In addition, but not in lieu of being hyper focused on what's going on with the individual trees.
My boy went deep with him. That's what I'm talking about, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Listen, this is jack of all trades,
philosophical. It said the trees. I mean, cut the trees
And
down.
Mr. Forest, man. You get focused on like 2 or 3 trees. You don't realize the rest
listen.
of the forest getting cut down, man. You've arguing over 2 trees.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, they're important trees, but if all the other trees get taken down, you going too. It ain't gonna matter if at a certain extent if you don't pay attention to the big picture. We won't even remember these. We won't even remember these cases. I'm gonna be a little facetious here. But once the androids come and we're all slave workers for Amazon and Jeff Bezos, nobody's gonna remember these trials.
Listen,
Focus on surviving, man.
with that said about class, I'm gonna say one name. Y'all Google it later. One name and a company. Robert Richards DuPont. Y'all look that up and see what he did and got away with. I'm not going to talk about it right here. It's not even worth it. But Robert Richards, I might even put it in the chat.
Yeah, put it in the chat.
Richards
Put it in chat.
DuPont. And you see what he got away with. All right. Since we're talking about criminal activity, right? Let's go again in Texas. What's going on in Texas, bro? Texas is so. Let's talk about DJ ASAP, right? Also known as Marlon Moore and his wife, LaShonda Moore. They're getting 40 years, Fed time. Why? They were running a fraudulent chain referral pyramid scheme. Y'all remember those pyramid schemes, right? Back in like the early 2000s, mid 2000s. Your friend call you, hey, I got this business opportunity for you. Like, all right, but I need to sit down for 30 minutes and watch this video. You know what I'm talking about? That pyramid scheme, like dog, like you go listen to it, and then they see all this information. You're trapped for 30 minutes, just watching this video, watching this presentation. Not even a video. Come to this office for a presentation. And you're stuck there for 35, 40 minutes, and it's a friend of yours. You know what I'm saying? You go, all right, cool. I'll support. Next thing you know, I'm like,
you selling knives to the family. Yeah, I know.
Selling knives or something like that. Like, what? Yeah, you can make a lot of money. A lot of money doing what? Selling knives? These aren't even Ginsu knives. What are these? These not even stainless steel. But,
Cutco is getting people every day, brother. Every day.
I ain't gonna hold you.
Cutco.
Yeah.
But at least they're giving you a knife,
There,
though.
Still
At least you
going
getting
there
strong,
was a
something.
baby.
few.
Still
At
going
least you getting.
strong.
There was a few people. There's a few people I actually dodged for like a long time. Not then pick the phone calls. You know what I'm saying? They go around go the other way, like so I know, it's a time on it. I'm like, no, I don't want to. I don't, and I just couldn't tell them. No. I was younger then too, but I couldn't just tell them no. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
just ran from them. But anyway, this is coming from the justice.gov, the Office of Public Affairs for the U.S. Department of Justice. A Texas couple was sentenced yesterday to 40 years. This is written on June 10th. 40 years each in prison for running a fraudulent chain referral pyramid scheme following their convictions by a jury on conspiracy, wire fraud, and money laundering charges in 2026. At the peak of the pandemic, LaShonda and Marlon Moore launched an investment fraud scheme and cheated struggling Americans out of $30 million, said Assistant Attorney General A. Tyson Duval of the Justice Department of Criminal Division. This fraud scheme exploited people out of their hard-earned money at a time when they needed it most. Opportunistic fraudsters like the Moores belong in prison. The Moores get rich quick scheme has earned them a well-deserved stay in federal prison, said U.S. Attorney J.R. Combs for the Eastern District of Texas. Playing games with other people's money while promising unrealistic returns is stealing and will be prosecuted and punished. Let me see. Let me go here. So I want to talk about how did they even get these people to do this. The Moors, right? They used a polished image in a reality TV appearance to build trust, but behind the scenes, they orchestrated a deceptive pyramid scheme built on fake playing boards and false promises of $800% return. $800% return
That I
from
thought you.
where?
I thought that was a typo. That's what they said.
No. I'm reading it from.
That's
Yo,
crazy. How that would not be a red flag? Just that sentence is crazy.
thank you, bro. I'm about to say like, wait, 800%, and these people fall for it. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna do something for you guys. Let's see if we can do this.
Are you gonna try to make sense of how you can make 800% return on anything?
No, I'm not because first of all, it's
Because
for one, it's a red flag.
it doesn't
It's
make
one flag. I
it
don't think
doesn't make
any
sense.
I mean, obviously that's great, but anyone with common sense, even in business, you know what I'm saying, like that, yeah, you're lying. Like, what's the
Hey, but yo, what's terrible about the whole situation is who the market that they went after, yo. They went after older black people that were religious. So it was all based upon, you know what I mean? They were going after folks and they put it under the guise of religion. If you look at it, they named their company
Bent?
what, BINT,
Yeah,
right?
it was
And
it
so
was BINT. It stands for um, what was it? It stands for blessings in no time. Yeah,
right, right. So they were going after this demographic of a older black folks, right? And so they're just getting these people, yo. They're getting your grandmother, they're getting your grandfather, yo, who's got a little bit of money saved up, and they like, man, I need to just get a little bit more to get over the hump, right? So like, you know what I mean? Older black folks don't. I mean, some have a lot of money stashed up, but most of our grandparents don't got a ton of cash just sitting aside. So if I take this little bit of this $5,000 that I have, bam, I can get an 800% return on this $5,000. Oh man, maybe I can take the vacation I always wanted to take my whole life. You know what I mean? And they preying on people. They deserve them 40
There's a
years.
place.
They
There's a
like
special place in
out of
jail for people who prey on children and the elderly.
yo, 40 years ain't enough. We was just talking
there you
about
go.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
look at that. Look at that.
yeah. They
We
shining.
you know what I mean? And
They
we
look
just
trustworthy. I ain't gonna hold you.
no they don't. I don't trust nothing. I don't trust nothing on there. I don't trust none of that. Are you kidding me? The more sparkles you got on your jacket, the less I can trust you. Nah, nope, Not a chance. Not a
It's
chance.
the sparkles, yeah.
Nope.
Definitely the
It's the
sparkles.
Sparkles got
sparkles.
it.
The shinier the suit, the less I trust you.
But yeah,
And that's why Diddy was wearing them shiny suits.
but yeah, bro, it's yeah they basically use their reality TV appearance to actually build trust and stuff like that, and like you said, according to court documents and evidence presented at trial, LaShonda Moore, 38, and Marlon Moore, 39, Frisco, Texas, co-founded and ran Blessings in No Time, known as Bent, an illegal chain referral pyramid scheme that targeted victims during the COVID-19 pandemic from June 2020 to June 2021. See? Bent targeted and recruited victims with false and misleading promises through weekly live stream video broadcasts to thousands of participants across the United States during the COVID-19 shutdown. Victims were falsely promised that they would earn 800% returns on each $1,400 investment and were guaranteed a refund if they were unsatisfied. The Moors falsely held out Bent as a way for people to help their own community by paying blessings of at least $1,400 to participants who had already joined. The Moors falsely promised that new participants' blessing payments would be paid back eightfold within a few weeks. Bent was falsely presented as an altruistic invitation only community to help others during the economic downturn from the COVID-19 pandemic. Bruh, that whole thing was a lie straight from the pits of hell. How did anyone believe that? That in a few, give us $1,400 and then in a few weeks you're gonna get it back eightfold. How?
Yo, come on, man. It don't even make sense.
And I ain't gonna
It
hold
doesn't
you. My
make
grandma
sense.
was one of those ones. I'm not sure it was Bent, but she got a phone call. She got a phone call and ate that up. Now she got
Yeah,
got.
for sure.
I'm trying to hide it from my
Yeah.
pop and my uncle.
Listen,
Because
man.
she's like,
That's what I'm saying.
wait, what type of?
They be
So that should show you. Money. I'm sorry. The love of money is the root of all evil. Not the money. Not money's the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil. It's not about the user. It's about evil things can follow for the love of money.
Yeah.
These people were so money hungry, so like not even business minded. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously, with business, there's the law of sowing and reaping, right? If you sow into something over time, it'll cultivate and you'll get a return. You know what I'm saying? But it has to make sense. But the fact that you guys are blindly just giving $1,400, you know what I'm saying, and hoping for a 800% return is just wild to me. In what planet? In what way does that make any sense? See, their
man.
God was money. They're chasing the bread. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
they was
Yeah.
chasing the money, and look what happened. You got God.
But how you gonna prey on older people with the facade of God in it though? Like
Man, don't
I would be
get me
like
started, bro.
if I know we don't have enough time to do this, but just to do that, like if they would have went after older people and they just called them on the phone and say, hey, listen, we're gonna give you an 800% return. We got this little business deal going on, yada yada yada. Give you the little pitch real fast, and older folks just went for it. I would be like, that's still kind of wrong, but they was kind of on their own with that. But to put God in it, bro, come on, man, that's the lowest the low. You can't get no lower than that. 40 years ain't enough.
Not enough. What should he?
Should have gave him
What should he get?
consecutive 200 years of
200.
200
They both
consecutive
getting 40 years.
200. 40
White
ain't
collar
enough.
crimes, bro.
Because 40 ain't enough.
They
And you know
get
why 40 ain't enough
Oh
is
my gosh, bro.
because they could get out. I mean, they could get out. But they'd be in their 60s or something because, nobody do full time. So they might do maybe if they do 25, they still going to be free at some point in time unless they die in jail. But they're not that old. 40 ain't enough.
Tom, what's wrong with you, dog?
40 ain't enough. It's 40 ain't enough. You
Lock me
fraud.
up,
You
throw away the
fraud
key.
old people under the guise of God.
No,
Come
that
on.
is nasty work though, and you have every right to feel that way. Listen, they did the crime, but I would have to just even talk about where are you at morally, where you would just sacrifice, you know what I'm saying, put yourself in a situation to even make this money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. It's yeah, they prey on some innocent victims, but I feel that there's some type of responsibility you have as an individual not to get duped. Like that
I mean, yeah,
800% makes doesn't even sound believable.
right. I mean, I get that. You got to be a responsible adult. No question about it, right? But the fact that you're coming after a certain sector of people who believe in the Lord, you know what I mean, wholeheartedly, and believe that God is going to bless them, and then you come at people who already are like, I'm waiting on my blessings. You name your company blessings in no time, and then you go after a certain section of people, right? Mind you, your own people, right? You ain't going after people you don't know type time. You know who it
Bro,
is, and you're gonna prey
it's
on them,
crazy. It be your own people.
your own
It be your
people.
own people.
It be your own people. It be your own people. It do. It always
See,
does. It always does. Cause
I'm not trying to go there, bro. But where's the outrage for that? Where's the outrage for this? But I
I
bet
mean,
you, but I bet you if it was
I
Bill
think
Gates
it's
that did it,
outrage
they
though.
gonna be going crazy for it.
Oh
It
yeah,
was Johnny
for sure.
Walker. It's gonna be in the news. You gonna hear from Jesse Jackson, all them. We need to
Oh yeah. Oh.
boycott. Nah, bro. Boycott DJ A stack. You
Well,
see what
I
I'm
mean,
saying? Like,
listen, at least they. I mean, they got 40 though, right? So at least justice
justice do
prevailed this
prevail.
time.
But
Yeah.
Justice prevailed this time.
but I didn't hear Pete, bro. I didn't hear Pete. You gotta be fair and equal with all your criticism, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, right is right, wrong is wrong.
Yeah.
That
You
is
know
true
what?
because
I'll even go further and say this. Some of them probably got a couple dollars off of it. Your pastor
people
probably got a little cut off of it, off the
listen,
top. And
listen,
if you
folks
want to go
getting
down that rabbit hole, you know what I'm saying? Like David E. Taylor, you know what I'm saying? If you know about David E. Taylor, the Crusades for Cancer, and he did every year. You know what I'm saying? Like
No.
he got invested by the IRS. Like, what do you need this mansion for? It's wild,
yo,
dog. It is
yo,
crazy.
it
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 stop. Listen, I
stop using my God
thank
for
you.
your nasty
Thank you.
work.
And I'll now say this. I'll
That's
say
what
this
you
as
gotta
well
stop
because
doing.
there are a certain sect of pastors and preachers who preach a prosperity gospel that talks about fame and riches and glory in the earth. You know what I'm saying? Listen, stop leading your people astray, man. Teach your congregation discernment. Discernment. Everyone's expecting the miracle. Everyone's expecting the Red Sea to split. Everyone's expecting the heavens to open up. Sometimes the miracle or intangible blessings. You know what I'm saying? You getting hired for a job, or someone putting a good word in for you, or even someone. You know what I'm saying? Like they're like the book of Nehemiah, right? Nehemiah was a slave, right? And he asked the king, I think, and Xerxes, to go back to Jerusalem to go ahead and rebuild the temple, right? To rebuild the temple wall in Jerusalem. Long story short, he was the cupbearer too, by the way. And Xerxes gave him permission to go back to Jerusalem, come back at a certain time, and then gave him a passage so as he goes along the way, he could rebuild the temple. The miracle didn't happen in the supernatural. The miracle was that this cupbearer got permission from his slave king. He was a king. He was enslaved. Remember, this is when Israel was being enslaved. Allow him to go back home to his country, his city, his capital, to rebuild the wall. And that's all it was. Their hands, blood, sweat, and tears, and prayer. They rebuilt the wall, and that was the miracle in itself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
and some of these pastors, they're not teaching their congregation the right way. Everyone's expecting a supernatural miracle. Doesn't mean God can't do that, because I am a recipient of miracles now. I'm not gonna get twisted. I had some supernatural things happen in my life, but I've also am a man of faith and works, because faith without works is dead. I'm going to believe, and I'm also going to put work behind my faith. You know what I'm saying? And there's a certain group of people who feel as though if you just pray the heavens down, it's going to happen. Yes and no. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can, but these pastors need to educate their congregation the correct way, man. and maybe
Yeah.
you won't have gullible sheep believing everything. So
I
Facts.
remember going
Real
to
fact.
yo.
Real fact.
I remember going to St. Luke up the street, and one of my favorite sermons from any pastor was one where he was forgot what the topic of the day was, but near the end of the sermon, he said, "Whatever you hear, question it. Even the things I'm saying up here, go back and do your research. If pastor says something, double check me. Don't just take my word for it. I could be lying to you."
hmm
Not saying that he was, but that's that's the way you should be guiding your people, because anybody can
yeah,
throw on a robe and some glasses if that's their forte and go up in the pulpit. But are
yeah,
you actually guiding the people where they need to go, or are you doing things within your own self-interest? That goes for anything, but
Fair.
since we're talking about the church, especially with the church.
Yeah, definitely.
Facts. Real
And this is
talk.
how we got,
That's
and
real
this is where
talk.
the victims come from.
Yeah.
People who aren't taught well
God wants
by
faith, but he
by the
doesn't want blind.
droves.
God wants faith, but he doesn't want blind faith. God is not to say that you're we are God and we can just talk to God and say this is the way. No, it's to say he gives you the grace to come and talk to him naked, if you will, like to be real. You have what's called veneration, right? That's I would say separate from fear. Veneration is you fear what God is capable of, but it's a healthy fear, like almost the way like you
Yeah,
revere
right.
like a
It's
sensei, if you
respect,
will. Exactly, exactly.
like a parent, like a parent. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
I
And
love my mom. I love my dad as a kid, but I like God. Whoa, don't get that on the bad side because I'm afraid of the repercussions.
and that's why it's
Yeah.
important to read the word, because it gives you context and understanding as to why God commands what he commands of us. You're
hmm
not blindly following because you've taken the time to actually sit and commune with God. And since God is the word and the word is God, they're one and the same. Like you sit and read the word and you commune, and then you have an understanding of why you have faith, not just having faith blindly. You shouldn't have faith
hmm
blindly in anything,
Hmm.
right? If
Yeah,
you just had faith in Jesus without knowing about him dying on the cross, without knowing about his testimony, what sense would that make?
yeah,
It's knowing the testimony, it's knowing the story, it's knowing the why, which makes it reasonable to have faith.
the Bible tells
Now,
us to have an
yeah,
answer for why we believe the what we believe in. You know what I'm saying?
right,
And that is the answer.
yeah,
That provides the answer why you believe in. You know what I'm saying?
right. And I think the fact that we're imperfect, every day is trying to get a little bit better, and
Yeah.
it's the people that have the most issues. We all have issues, but it's people that have the most issues, which who I think need and should be drawn to God the most. We think that people that have pe- let's say Carmelo Anthony, or let's say the other fellow who killed the individual that you were mentioning, I can't remember their name, or whoever. Those are the
Casey
people,
Allison.
Casey Allison, those are the people who need Christ the most. Even if you're dealing with the consequences of your actions, he beckons to those the most. He beckons to everybody, but those the most.
hmm
Right? So it's like, know the why. It's not about being perfect. It's about knowing the why. So then you can understand why you're doing what you're doing. Because if you don't, then you can be smooth talked by anybody who comes along and has a good story or makes the Bible sound good in the way that they want to present it, or whatever the case, prosperity preaching without giving any context or nuance.
hmm
Yeah.
Yeah. Couldn't say any better, Stan. Couldn't say any better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That's exactly, you know what I mean? Like that
Yeah.
sentiment right there. That's just I hate fraud, bro. I absolutely hate fraud, yo. Every week it seems like it's fraud. Somebody stealing from somebody, somebody cheating somebody taking this and ripping that and doing this and doing that. And under that, there's some good being done, right? There's always good. There's always good in the works. And God is definitely going to lead us no matter what. But on the forefront, man, I swear, there's so much fraud. Everybody just want to get at something. Just taking. But eventually, I keep faith. I keep faith that eventually things will be just to even the unjust. But other than that, man, we're gonna touch on the U.S.-Iran war next week, and we're gonna get into that. And
Some more AI. Some more AI.
And we're also going to get into AI in the scientific realm as well, and we're going to bring you up to speed on some of that. With the U.S.-Iran war, just some quick bullet points, I guess I'll say. Earlier today, Benjamin Netanyahu had suggested he was going to bomb Lebanon, which would put us into war for the duration. It basically stated for at least 60 more days of negotiations if Benjamin not yet Netanyahu, golly, bombed Lebanon today. So Israel is definitely still very much involved, whereas it seems like U.S. wants to kind of, pull back. Trump did say he didn't want this to last too long, but other powers are definitely trying to keep us into it. So we will get into that next week. Other than that, only words I have to say as far as this week goes: like, follow, share, subscribe. God bless.
Listen, I got nothing else to say. Ditto. Stan?
Till next time, y'all.
Until next time. Yo, this is episode 11. Jack of all trades.
Peace.
Sign out.
Jack of all trades, I move how I move.